So recently, hip-hop has turned into the WWE SummerSlam, where a bunch of rappers are coming out of the woodwork. They're all going against each other, at least the top three between Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. Or at least it was the top three until J. Cole decided to bow out because he felt like he was hurting people's feelings. But it seems like a lot of rappers are coming out. They're making diss tracks and diss songs, and they're going for the throat against Mr. Drizzy Drake, the top dog. And at the same time, we have Kendrick and Drake going back and forth, and it seems like there's a series of disses coming out of this. But to be completely honest with you, it's extremely corny, in my opinion, because I haven't really heard anything that was of substance yet. Everything that's being said is generic. Everything that's being mentioned is just basically low-tier barbs. Nothing personal. This is not Pusha T's story of Adidon. Matter of fact, no one has brought up the fact that Drake was playing Border Patrol with his son. No one has brought up those hard-hitting lines unless, I don't know, maybe they're saving it for the next version, but it seems like they're either saving it for later or just don't want to bring it up. But one thing that no rapper has brought up, except for one retired salty individual by the name of Joe Budden, is that Mr. Drizzy Drake, someone, if you were going to make a diss song, if someone's character you were going to attack, is someone who has been repeatedly known to perchance partake in predator behavior and at the very least grooming behavior. If you're not aware of what grooming is, it's basically when individuals who are in sicko mode pre-order an individual who is underage or is lower than the age of 18 in most communities, and basically interacts with them, has conversations with them, and then much like Dane Cook ends up, getting in a relationship with them later on in life. But the thing is, a lot of the time, Drake is involved in these discussions, and it's happened 2 or 3 times. First of all, Mr. Joe Budden brought up recently on his podcast, not on YouTube, but on his paywall Patreon, that Mr. Drake was recorded saying a pretty sick line. And honestly, I never heard it before, but it kind of fits the description depending on whether or not you know a lot about Drake. And I will go into other examples, but this one right here takes the cake in my opinion.
Yo, that's nasty.
You have your boy Drake saying that 17 with all that thickness. Oh man, your boy Drake was really willing to risk it all just for that jailbait. That's nasty, Drake. You really need to stop. You need to look yourself in the mirror and just calm down, because at this point in time, you're going a little bit too wild. Now, the other thing that Drake has been condemned for in the past, especially on Reddit, I've seen this on Reddit a couple of times, is that he was in a relationship with a model or someone who was under the age of 18, and then coincidentally, once they did turn 18, he ended up having a romantic date night with them. He actually took her to like a football stadium, had a nice table with spaghetti and meatballs, sitting there like Lady and the Tramp. And it was a little creepy and a little weird that Drake knew this person. They were together for multiple years before her turning 18. And then it just so coincidentally happened that once she is of age, he wants to take her on a date. He wants to wine and dine her. And I don't know about you, but Drake sitting there with his Drake Nikes and his Drake apparel and his Anita Maxwin hat, talking to a just freshly turned 18-year-old about what, I have no idea, is setting Diddy alarm in my head. Right now, Drake is going down the route of Diddy. He's not as bad as Diddy, but he's getting close. You know what I mean? It's the beginning phases. If we're talking about this in evolution chart, right now Drake is just Charmander and Diddy is Mega Evolution Charizard. But it's still going down the creepy route. Now, the next thing that in my opinion is extremely creepy, because I just don't understand it, is that Drake also had a weird relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. If you don't know, I made a video in the past about Millie Bobby Brown and how her fans, quote unquote, actually made a subreddit that was going to post illicit pictures of her, and they could not wait until she turned 18. They unironically pre-approved and pre-made a subreddit just to objectify this poor young girl before she even turned 18-year-old, which is absolutely insane. I'm personally thinking that Drake might have been a moderator for that subreddit, because Drake himself actually had admitted to and had said that he had conversations with Millie Bobby Brown, or at least she brought it up and said, oh yeah, me and him, we've texted over the years, you know, I might be under the age of 18, we're talking 15, 16, but you know, we're friends, we have conversations, we chat it up.
I met Drake in an Australian hotel.
What about your relationship with Drake?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic. Are you joking me? Drake? He wants to see me? And I was like, okay, we're going. So I like got my outfit prepared, I went there, and he was such a fanboy, and I was such a fangirl that and honestly, we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, like just life lessons. We just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. We went to dinner afterwards, and we had dinner the next day, and then we met in Sydney.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with him about boy problems and relationship issues, and it's like, bro, why is Drake randomly having conversations with little girls off of Netflix shows? Like, why is that happening? This is just what we know. Drake is not admitting to the multiple cast members of Sesame Street that he might have on the low. That's the thing. Drake is a sourcer. You know how a lot of rappers, they source different material, like Dr. Dre go deep into the crates? Apparently, Drake goes deep into the middle schools and high schools looking for these young girls to find their Instagrams and Snapchats and have these low-key conversations about how boys at their school are yucky and that he is very cool and very chill, and they should talk to him about their issues. And once they turn 18, he flies them out, he has conversations with them, all of a sudden the yak comes into the picture, and it seems to me like Drake is trying to get these young girls and turning them into bottle service girls before they even have a chance to turn 19, which is crazy. At least Leonardo DiCaprio has the respect to go for girls that are 20 to 25, but your boy Drake is out here really looking for girls in their teens and preteens just to get them ready for the Drake line. Now, in my opinion, I think Drake is definitely on the weird spectrum of individuals that talk to children. I don't know if it's some type of weird happenstance, like how Michael Jackson used to like to talk to kids and have them go on roller coaster with him, or legitimately Drake is just grooming these young girls, just getting them ready for the Drake-a-palooza that happens when they're 18. It's very weird, it's very odd, and if I was a rapper and if I was making 50 different diss songs and trying to disrespect Drake and bring out all the skeletons in the closet, I probably would mention that. But it seems to me like this whole rap diss-along and this whole rap beef that's been going on is very vague and very surface, and it seems to be more about record sales, especially when Ross came out of the closet and started dissing Drake out of nowhere, even though they're completely butt buddies. It seems like a lot of industry beef. It doesn't seem like any real beef like Pusha T and Drake had, or Meek Mill and Drake had. But at the end of the day, I just want to say Drake might low-key be a groomer, and it seems like no rapper wants to touch the subject. Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one to get your hand-me-downs and party after party playing with his nose now. And Bayaka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified PDF file. Yo, finally this man came out and dropped the nuclear bomb. Finally, he was able to open the closet that Drake has tried to keep locked away. It's finally out the closet.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!